Hey YouTube, it might be a mild, dreary December afternoon here in North Potomac, Maryland, but that doesn't mean that I won't be making another video. Today I want to tell you about the upgrades I've done to my Raleigh 20 since the last video. I largely took care of what I needed to do as far as restoring it by the time I recorded the past video, but I added a few more beautiful practical features here. The main upgrade are these chrome fenders that I installed on the front and back. They actually installed quite well. As you can tell, they're quite wide for the front fork, and removing the front wheel was a little bit of a pain, but I managed to squish the metal here in the fork so that there's plenty of gap between the tire and the fenders. These mount straight on the axle bolt. As I mentioned, it was a little bit of a pain to get the front wheel out, but thanks to a wrench I was able to pry it out. When I reinstalled the wheel, I adjusted the cone on the left side and then clamped down these axle nuts, and that managed to work out quite well, though I might consider getting another axle washer at some point in the future. Before installing these fenders, I assembled them. I assembled the stays to the fenders inside and then took these outside, got the 20 in the rack, and removed the wheels. Okay, so there's the front fender. The rear fender is very similar, although didn't need quite as much folding at the seat stays as the front fender needed at the fork. Again, this has maybe even too much of a gap relative to the wheel. The hardest part was probably getting clearance for the axle nuts on this Sturmey Archer hub, but that ended up working out well. Also, in the meantime, I used PB Blaster to loosen up the indicator chain. I have the indicator chain readjusted after reinstallation. Let's see, there's some other things I wanted to talk about here. Oh, yeah, so for the other thing for the rear fender that was sort of interesting is I had a plastic spacer that I had from another set of fenders that I put to use here, along with a nice M5 bolt and nylon lock nut to keep that really solidly in place. Fender had no problem fitting under these long reach brakes and higher up on the seat stays. And let's see. Then looking at the other side, you can see that I still was able to thread those axle nuts on quite nicely there. Around the same time I did these repairs, I had to replace a flat tire. I hadn't ridden my 20 in some time because I had a flat tire that I fortunately only noticed well after the ride was over. I still had plenty of pressure when I got home, but later I saw that the rear tire was deflated. It turned out a very long, pretty long piece of car tire wire or some other very fine steel wire went right through the tire and into the tube. So I went ahead and used the Rock Ride patch kit, the vulcanizing patch kit, to patch that up, and that's holding plenty of pressure now. I have this inflated to about 90 psi. I did notice some loose spokes, which is kind of concerning, so I tightened those up a bit, but I'll probably have to true up this wheel. Okay, so the other big gaping hole in this story is the rack that I installed. I got this rack for about $20 with shipping on AliExpress. It's for folding bikes, especially 20-inch folding bikes. And it's a pretty interesting rack. I mean, it has a hook here for panniers, a adjustable bracket for the eyelets, or in my case, the seat stays. It is, a rat trap style a mousetrap style rack. I'll probably next install some reflector back there. It has these adjustable stays, which I mounted to 1/2-inch P-clamps on the seat stays. I only installed the P-clamps after putting some electrical tape around the stays to keep the P-clamps from cutting into the paint and damaging the finish. I think I just have some flange nuts that came as fasteners, some flange nuts that came as hardware with the kit, along with washers and M5.8. What would you call that? Not hex head screws, machine screws with Allen key head, in order to hold those P-clamps to these stays. I tightened down these little CNC milled adjustable brackets here to the stays and to the rest of the frame. But I think the most challenging part was mounting the rack on the seat stays. I again used 1/2-inch P-clamps. I played with this a lot last night to figure out where to put them. I was hoping to use, an eyelet that's right about there, but I don't think the rack was quite long enough and had enough, what would you call it? Enough of a margin in this bracket to put the rack further out and mount it to the eyelet. Plus, more glaringly, the fender stays covered up that eyelet. So I did some reading, and I saw people do mount their racks entirely with P-clips. I don't think it's the best idea, but it has been done and holds, a good bit of weight, 20 pounds maybe. So I went ahead and did that both for the upper mount on the upper part of the seat stays, and then the lower part of the seat stays right above where the chain guard mounts. And that, turned out quite well. There's, a little bit of side-to-side give, but, it's quite firm up and down. I also put plenty of electrical tape there and on the non-drive side, as you can see there. And for this mount, I used the default M5.8 bolts with a nylon lock nut, as you can see in there. I might add some more washers to that, but that turned out really nicely. The idea here is that I could put a little bag on top of here and carry some tools, some groceries, and so on. I might think of, a small saddle bag, which I got in that box of goodies I featured in a previous video. But it'll be nice to have a bag here so I can, take this grocery shopping as the bike was intended in the UK. So anyway, that's just a quick overview of the recent updates to the Raleigh 20. I think this is really close to being done. I love how it turned out. I had so much fun installing the rack and fenders, even as kind of complicated as it was. And it's just an incredible bike for how simply fabricated that it is. A lot of bang for the welds, I guess. Let's see here. And I guess just to close out, I'll show you that this bell still works. So that's, pretty Y1K, 2K, or 3K compliant. And now I think it's time to take this out on a test ride. The rain has abated here, so I'm not too worried about braking. Maybe get a coffee or something, take care of some other errands, and just see how this does over 20-25 miles. I've ridden this about 155 miles now. I'm hoping to ride every bike I have at least 1,000 miles. So definitely a New Year's resolution there. Riding 1,000 miles at least on my 1970 Raleigh 20. And with that, I conclude the video. I hope you found this enjoyable. Please leave your thoughts, comments, suggestions, or questions in the comments down below. And like and subscribe as always. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great one. Happy holidays.